This is the MGM 1 month overview reading for the month of March 2024. It's currently January 29th, 2024, 6:38 p.m. Eastern Time. MGM at the time of this reading is currently $43.85. That's USD. And the shuffle video here in the corner was created on January 8th, 2024 at 8:22 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here. So the overall theme and behavior for MGM in March is a period of sideways rotation along key support. And it looks like there's some price swinging. It's equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow. So kind of like back and forth along this price level, overall sideways behavior. But I think overall we probably entered the downside just based on the 1 year. Behavior around the high side, there'll be a notable reversal that'll really stand out on like a 1 year chart scale minimum at the high, and behavior near the low. I saw this a similar kind of energy in another March low. Actually, I think it was probably Meta, but there's multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance near the low. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips. And that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. So let's get back into it. Before we get into the day-by-day chart behavior, as well as the timing of the highs and the lows, and the timing of the highest highs and the lowest lows, and all that stuff, I want to make sure that you guys understand each card going left to right across the screen represents about 1 day of time, but not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 1 day of time. So there will be some readings where you have to give some of the timing plus or minus a day of wiggle room here or there. In cases where that does happen, make sure to follow the sequence of events as outlined by the prediction. That'll keep you on track. Here on the first, we have this unexpected move to the upside. Interesting. So there's probably a decline here from this resistance in February because we have this big move, unexpected move to the upside, even in the face of seemingly negative technicals or headwinds. And it looks like there's a peak early in the day. This might be a highest high. A lot of the March readings have a highest high here on the first, but I think the highest high for MGM is probably here on the 5th, 6th, and then maybe even higher. We'll get into that at the end of the reading where we see the highest highs and the lowest lows. But here on the 4th, we have a mixed chart behavior. It's like a sideways S formation that forms within a channel. So we decline from a resistance, meet a support, reverse, go all the way back to the resistance, reverse, go all the way back to support. And then on the 5th, we have this notable move higher through key resistance, creating a prominent peak on a 1 month scale, followed by a decline back down through that same price level shortly thereafter into a trough at the end of the day on the 5th. On the 6th, we have a notable move higher, pushing the upper end of a range higher and taking us to another prominent peak on a 1 month scale. Likely open lower on this. Oh, there's also a trade opportunity on the 6th, and then we likely open lower on the morning of the 7th, and then there's a rally that increases with momentum moving forward into a peak at the end of the day. That peak forms after a big move to the upside that'll really stand out. On the 8th, however, we have a decline to and through support to meet a second support, and then we rotate sideways along that support into a prominent trough at the end of the day. Okay, so it looks like we actually opened lower on the 11th, and then there's a pop and drop, so big move higher, full retracement of that move, and there's a key support level highlighted both on the 8th and on the 11th. On the 12th, we have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. There's a trade opportunity there. I'll talk about it in more detail in the paid version. And in the midst of that erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. There's a fake out on the 13th in the midst of some price swinging, an intentional fake out or shakeout tended to make a retail investor do the wrong thing, and there's a prominent peak towards the end of the day, an important price level on a 1 year chart scale highlighted on the 14th. On the 13th, there's actually a trough midday, and then a rally starts out of that, taking us into that price level on the 14th. Midday on the 14th, however, another trough, and then another prominent peak early in the day on the 15th. The 15th is mostly decline, and there's a trade opportunity, a day trade opportunity in there. I'll talk about it in more detail in the paid version. Before we go any further, though, let's take a look at January and see how we're doing. All right, so we have a lowest low thus far around the 3rd, 4th, and you can see right there on the 3rd that took place, or on the 4th, depending on how you look at it. Highest high on the 8th. I have it for the 9th. It ends up being on the 8th. And then we go into a lowest low on the 12th, continuing down into the 17th, where we have that death card low. This is a pretty solid reading. And then we come back into highs. They don't end up being highest highs, but we come back into significant highs by the 25th, 26th. In any case, if you opened up a short position on the 9th, you would have made a lot of money on the 10th, or you could have held it until the 12th. You would have made a lot of money there. That's probably what you would have done based on the instructions. That's a big, big move right there. I probably would have opened up a partial long on the 12th, maybe a little bit more on the 16th, 17th, and then that long would have turned into a pretty profitable trade by the 18th or the 19th. You can see how there's that day trade there on the 19th with that big wick. This was a really solid reading, guys. And if you're wondering, the January MGM reading was conducted October 25th, 2023 at 1:42 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested in the paid version, guys, it's the only place that you can get this information. We talk about the timing of the best trades throughout the month. We talk about what to look for as far as entry and exit chart behavior for entry and exit points into those trades. We talk about price level information. We talk about trades from a multi-month and a multi-year standpoint. And we also talk about overall performance compared to the S&P 500. All that in the paid version, my friends. You won't find it anywhere else. It's worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to the right person. And it's going for so cheap. You get it here on our website, Tarot for Traders, at our services. Hover over that, click on SO Meta Posts right here, 1 month consecutive daily, monthly subscription right here. Click here to order, and you're clicking on the MGM subscription. It's $111. The kind of money you can make with this information, provided you know how to trade. Like, you have to know how to use the information. It's not like you're just going to be amazing like overnight. You have to know how to trade the information, and you have to not be that fool that puts everything down on one trade because I was right the last 3 times. Don't do that. You'll lose your money. Other than that, if you trade responsibly, this is a sick edge. Nobody else has it. Thank you to everybody that goes ahead and gets that subscription. We love you here at Tarot for Traders. You better believe I know your name. All right, so on the 18th, looks like we opened lower. There's sideways rotational on key support, and then a big move to the upside at the end of the day, or towards the later part of the day on the 18th. Also probably some price swinging going on there. 19th, an unexpected and improbable opportunity that'll really stand out amongst other opportunities throughout the month. And my sense is that that's probably to the upside. And then it's actually mixed, but in any case, on the 20th, we go 3 pokes through the same resistance, followed by a sharp drop off at that third poke into the 21st, where we have a prominent move higher. We break through key resistance on the 1-month scale, followed by a decline back down with a full retracement through that price level, back down to where the move higher started. And then on the 22nd, early in the morning, we have a significant low on a 1-month scale. We decline through multiple support levels, like out of the decline, the retracement decline at the end of the day on the 21st. We continue declining into the trough on the 22nd, and then out of that trough, a really big move to the upside that'll stand out. We open higher on the 25th, and there's mixed behavior back and forth through the same price level 3 times. The third time we are moving to the upside, confirming a bullish trend, and it looks like we have a higher price level or another prominent crest on the 26th. I'm advised to be cautious there on the 26th. Some sort of tricky chart behavior intended to make us do the wrong thing, or like multiple false tops or bottoms or something like that. An important resistance level highlighted on the 26th that we failed to break through many times before, and there's another prominent trough there. Decline continues into the 28th, where we have a day trade opportunity, and then the sneak preview for April, the Magus card indicates a really big move. Looks like probably to the downside, but I'll look at that in more detail when I get into the paid version. My friends, that's MGM for March 2024. Thank you so much for supporting. Oh, and then the highs and the lows. The highest high. So we have a high here around the 5th, 6th. That'll be our highest high thus far, around the 5th, 6th. And then this high over here around the 13th, 14th, 15th is either the same price level or it'll be a higher one. Hard to say. But then we get into lows. We have a lowest low here on the 22nd, and then possibly even a lower one. It'll be the same low or a lower one here on the 27th, 28th. And that's MGM for March. Don't forget to subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Most importantly, make sure to follow that Rule of Karma, guys. The whole purpose of the channel. If people didn't follow through on the Rule of Karma, I would just stop doing this. So if you're one of the 3% that actually follows through on the Rule of Karma, God bless you. We love you here at Tarot for Traders. And without you, we wouldn't be able to put out this stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.